We're live.
Well, good evening for another Abnormal Alabama production. Is that what you call it, a production? Are we producing anything? We're starting a little bit early. We've been doing this at 9 o'clock. We got a little bit different kind of show than the Spirit Box sessions. It was kind of a lousy presentation last night. What can I say? There was tiredom and whatnot going on, so there wasn't a lot of activity. Now, night before last, we had an exceptional run with Catherine's Spirit Box session when she was seeking communication with none other than Betty White, and it was a pretty convincing show. If you hadn't seen that, you should go back and watch that after this show. Don't interrupt this show. Okay, tomorrow night is basically the night, because it's Saturday night, that everybody, I assume, will be pretty much celebrating Halloween, trick-or-treaters and whatnot, because the real Halloween is on Monday night. So be prepared tomorrow night. I would assume that's what it is. Unfortunately, and I'll say this very boldly, and I'll probably piss some people off, the churches, as usual, try to take over everything, and they've done this trunk or treat stuff, and they sell fear. Sure, you want to be cautious with anything with your kids, but this is it's selling a fear, because nobody's putting drugs in the candy. I mean, it's the chances of something like that are so slim. It just, I don't believe these politicians. I've been around for 68 years of life, and I'm telling you, it's pretty much bullshit. So anyway, we missed the days of the trick or treaters coming around the house dressed in their monster costumes and now cosplay costumes and whatever else they want to come as. It's entertaining. It's fun. It's fun for me, the adult, and it's also fun for the kids, of course. So anyway, this time of year, interestingly enough, is what they say, the veil is the thinnest. Why do we get Halloween? Well, a short history based on my interpretation of the history. We are coming into the dead of winter. The summer is ending. Death surrounds us. When you celebrate the changing of the leaves and the autumn colors, you are indeed celebrating death. That kind of ties in with this time of year, doesn't it? You're celebrating death because what causes those changes of leaves in nature is these autumn colors is death. The leaves are dying. Look at your yard. The leaves are falling because they are dying. So it ties in with this time of year. We are celebrating death and the Day of the Dead, the Hispanic rituals. It's a celebration, and it is a communing, if you will, an honoring of your deceased loved ones, your ancestors, which is a common thing, a connection, a grounding, if you will. And of course, Halloween evolved from that to become what we know as of today. Now, I'm going to interrupt all that to say simply that Monday night, the real Halloween, October 31st, Lady Cat and I will be at the wonderful courtyard in Alabaster on Highway 31 near the Shelby Airport. I'm almost across the street from Shelby Airport. And we're going to be there setting up. We'll be rolling pretty by 7 p.m. They're also going to do a bingo and a live mic, whatnot. Catherine is going to be doing tarot card reading. And yes, there'll be a tip jar there. Take care of the woman. It's going to be entertaining. It's going to be fun, whether you believe in the tarot cards or not. She's going to make it fun and interesting and fascinating and maybe even shake you up a little bit. Who knows? I'm going to do some magic, some mentalism, and some other tricks. Of course, what would magic be if you didn't do card tricks too? But a lot more than that. And I am known as Kilted Magician, not the Kilted Magician, because it's, I come to find out when I got my website, I found out there's a guy in Pennsylvania, a magician in Pennsylvania, that is the Kilted Magician. I did not pick that. I did not steal from him. I was already wearing kilts. I've got a closet full of kilts. And so I had to get mine just Kilted Magician, because his is the Kilted Magician.
We should have gone. You should have gone with Doctor Kilted Magician.
Well, it's too late now. I'm not going to change it at the moment, but that could happen. Um, Bottom line is where we are now is that if you look at his compared to mine, he kind of into kids and whatnot. I'm very adult oriented. I don't. Let's say I don't play well with kids because I don't have much of a filter on my mouth. How's that? I know how to conduct myself, but once I get to rolling, I may lose and use some things you wouldn't want your kids to hear. Let's put it that way. So I play to an adult audience. So I'm different. I'm very out there, and I want it to be entertaining and fun as well. That is Monday night, true Halloween night. Now, Catherine, in the background, if you wanted to, you could play, have your spirit box going and see if anybody interrupts us. I have changed my background. I have what is this, the niece of the Annabelle? What do we determine this doll to be here that I got in my case?
I think her name is Ashley Bell.
And how is she related to Annabelle?
I don't know that she's related to Annabelle, but she's got her own spirit.
So I thought there was a relation. Okay. So anyway, I changed my setting. This is a creation.
Oh, you got the little one. I'm sorry. I made a mistake.
That's fine. I'm not. It's just not. Whatever. This is a smaller version of the Raggedy Ann that represents Annabelle, and this is what I call my creation. Now, I'm going to step out for just 1 second because I want to change something. And before we really get rolling, while I'm doing this, maybe Catherine can go ahead and start a spirit box. But I want to talk about some books for a moment that I've written, and I hadn't promoted a lot. Oh, and doing this banner rolling down here, right here, and then I don't have to talk about that. I'll be right back.
Is anyone with us tonight?
Okay, that quick. I'm back. Not long.
All right. A good magician.
So look here. On my wall, right over here, we must be the change we wish to see in the world. Gandhi.
And the spirit box said you need to.
All right. Along the lines of what Catherine does and psychics do and fortune tellers and tarot card readers and all that wonderful stuff, I have this book. And look here. And look at the name right there that's on this book. Who wrote this book? Whose book is this? Hello? I'm not hearing anything.
Dr. Kelsey Graham.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I think I know him. So what do we got here? Just from the back cover, it's called Remarkable Intuition. Now, I think the word intuition can kind of tell you, was this kind of empath? Well, it's even more than just an empath. You're not just feeling. No one is wrong. More aptly, it doesn't matter if someone is wrong or someone is right. The reality is intuition exists. No matter what you believe it is or isn't. If you believe it is an unexplainable force that the universe grants us, that is okay. That's fine. It is also fine if you are skeptical about that and believe our past experiences contribute to intuition. Hey, that's cool too. It's just really a defining of intuition. What's important to agree on is that intuition is a powerful tool that you can harness, use, and strengthen if you know how to do that. That's what this book is about. Once you realize that, then it's time to read on and learn about your connection with intuition and how leading a more intuitive life is the key to realizing your goals, your hopes, and your dreams. So living by and honing in on your intuition, which is what this is about, will help you have a better life. And yeah, well, I'm not going to get into it, but you can change your life by learning how to trust your intuitions. I think most people will agree that through their lives, even judging people and circumstances, that if they had gone by their first gut feeling, they would have probably been better off. Have you had that experience, Catherine, where you ended up doubting and then you overthought it and then you ended up making a bad decision? Your initial thought was, I should stay away from this? Huh?
If you only knew.
Yeah, well, so you have. Everybody has. We all do that. This is a little bit different, but it kind of goes hand in hand with your remarkable intuition. This is control your mind, control your destiny. This organ in your body, that's here under my bald head and this skull that you have as well, some hair and mine isn't. It controlling this organ is probably the hardest. It falls right in with intuition because this, of all the body parts that we have as humans, this is the most mysterious part right here. And to control that, oh, some people seem to have great control of it. At any rate, all these books can be found on Amazon.com and a few other places too. Now, I just did a little video about this. You may have seen it. I think, Catherine, did you ever go back and listen to A New Day, A New You? That video I made?
Yes, but you play it again.
So there is, what's that book? A New Day, A New You. And of course, there is that name that keeps popping up on all these books. Get the best from your life now. And I'm going to talk about a couple more books a little bit later. But let's, where's this? Let me find this. Let me see if I can find where I did that. Hold on there. We're going to get there. And in a little bit, folks, as she does a Spirit Box session, I think what's going to be neat about the Spirit Box session tonight is we're going to talk about the 50 scariest haunted houses. That's Halloween haunted houses all over the country in America. And interestingly enough, the first one listed is right here in Alabama. So hold on, folks. Let me see if I can find and play this little video to get you started in a positive frame of mind. I got to remember what channel. I've got several YouTube channels, so I got to see where I uploaded this thing. I uploaded it. Boy, that's okay, well, no, that channel. Bear with me a second. I'll get this real quick, and then we'll go on to our next subject matter. Is there anything that you want to talk about while I'm looking at this?
For my wedding, I will do some. For my wedding.
For my wedding, for my wedding.
Huh?
For my wedding, for my wedding.
Yeah, that's what was playing on my thing here. Let me see. Hold on a second. I'll see if I can find this. Scroll down here. See, another little note that we've always had somebody that is dying and crossing over that we can always try to communicate with. This morning, none other than Jerry Lee Lewis. Great Balls of Fire.
If you go back a few shows, I told y'all Jerry Lee Lewis was getting close.
Is that who you said?
Yep.
Okay, I missed that. All right, I'm going to find this. Just bear with me here. I thought I know I shared it with you because I wanted you to see what I put out there, and it ties in, of course, with this book I wrote. I've done so much writing in my life, and I could sit down and I guess I overtalk. I don't know. I Got a lot of them there of my. Well, I guess we're gonna have to skip it. I might find it before the. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay, let me enlarge this. Hold on, and
week, but every day's a new day. Every day's a first day. And
all right, let me start that over and give me a share this. Really,
Yep.
a new day, a new you, and this. I didn't even have the book in my hand when I did this. It's just part of. It's just part of me. I don't, I don't, all these books are just what I see is just a part of me. So here we go, folks.
so we are into a new day on a Monday. First week, every day's a new day. Every day's a first day. And we need to recognize that and just set aside all the social structure and cultural crap and just accept life for what it really is. This is the moment. This moment. It's not about hump day. It's not about working for the weekend. It's about none of those things, folks. Zero. It's about this moment. That's what you got. I realized a long time ago you can get up right now and you can decide that I am starting over today. I'm going to take everything I've learned in life, this learning. I'm going to pull all the best of what I've learned, and I am going to use it to become a new me for a new day, starting this moment for the rest of my life. People get trapped into their bubbles. Bubbles of the constructs they're born into. What are those constructs? Constructs of community, constructs of government, of religion, of culture, of society, and even the constructs of the people you grew up with and family. As you learn and grow, you don't have to keep the same relationships, and you don't have to keep your relationships at the same levels. In other words, I don't have to disown my family to change my connection with them, to change how much I allow them to affect my days, my emotions, and what I get out of life. I don't have to be mean. I don't have to be ugly or loud. I can simply decide that I'm starting a new me today, and I love you, but you are sucking energy out of me. You're holding me back. I can still love you. I can still care for you without just giving my life up for you. I don't have to sacrifice my life for you. Now, if your need is so great, if you're on your deathbed, if you're incapacitated, that's a different story. But if you're capable, I don't need to allow that in my life. And I can still love you. I just don't allow you to be at that level in my life because it's a new me and a new day. The sun is shining and I feel good.
Okay, so that kind of gives you a little introduction into, well, sort of, right here, a new day, a new you. The wonderful thing about life is every day you get up, you can reinvent yourself. There's absolutely nothing negative or wrong about reinventing yourself. Okay, as I've aged, I've reinvented myself. I've had more than one career in my life. I started out as a very religious, fundamentalist type Christian. My PhD's in theology. I've evolved. In my 50s, I started a new business. I married people. Weddings became my thing. That happened in my 50s. In my mid 60s, in the middle of a worldwide pandemic, I started another new career. Never had the thought of this career before in my life. And I've got another book I don't have a copy of here called Invest in Yourself. You are your number one asset. Okay, 2 more books, and then we're going to get into the 50 top scariest haunted houses in America. And the first one, listed is right here in Alabama. There may be more, I don't know. So when someone dies, you commonly hear RIP. You see it on posts. We've always done that. Rest in peace. R.I.P. RIP. I remember when I was younger, and I remember the first time I saw RIP, I thought, what is RIP? I didn't realize it was acronym for rest in peace. Of course, I quickly learned that as a kid. I thought, you know what? When you die, you've got no choice but to rest in peace. I mean, isn't that what death's going to bring to you? So I decided this is, in fact, Catherine even made me up some T-shirts that has a Volkswagen bus and hippie, like kind of what I'm doing here tonight. Live in peace. How's that? Live in peace. And this has, well, let me just read this. If you're suffering from depression, anxiety, or any kind of stress, which we all do, you're not alone because we all suffer these things. A majority of people have gone through it, but those who manage to turn things around do so because they make happiness a goal and choose it every day. For the record, if you do not learn to be mentally stable, nothing will ever satisfy you. You will, your goals want more and consequently feel as though all your other achievements are nothing. A peaceful mind do the following, and then you're going to have to get the book. I got to make a buck, folks. Come on. This is over 60 years of life brought this material to you. I deserve $1. Okay, well, it sells more. Go on Amazon.com. Yeah, it costs more than $1. I do have copies. If you want to order straight from me, I'll autograph it to you. How's that? I talked about this a little bit. I talked about it quite a bit. WMD, you remember back, if you're old enough, right after the 9/11 event, September of 2001, we heard WMD, weapons of mass destruction. Well, it hit me that for all victims of WMD, it's called weapons of mass distraction. And the subheading here is always busy, but never really getting anywhere. Huh? Is that you? Or is it me? Maybe it is. There's nothing so useless as doing efficiently that which should not be done at all. This is why some people are more productive just by working for a few hours on 1 or 2 tasks compared to someone else who works for 8 to 10 hours and crush 25 different tasks. Most likely, you're a victim of WMD, weapons of mass distraction. I'm going to save my good book for later in the show, right here. And I'm going to share something with Catherine so she can help me with this, and I don't have to do this alone, because this has really become her show, this nightly affair. So she needs this right here. I'm sending it to you, Catherine, so help me out. We'll just go back and forth. How's that? And you got your spirit box going?
Yeah, I just turned it down while you were explaining the book.
Okay, so get it going and pull up this page, and let's see if we get any response on what does the ghosts and the spirits think about these haunted houses that we create for Halloween. Are we ready?
I'm ready.
So the first one in this list is in Alabama, McCamey Manor. What the majority of the population would consider a torture chamber rather than a haunted house, McCamey Manor is by far the scariest haunted house there is. It started in San Diego and now has locations in Alabama and Tennessee, and not one person has made it through without asking for it to be over. Now, what do you think about that? You have to sign a 30-page waiver in order to participate. The 30-page waiver you need to participate gives Russ McCamey and his team the okay to shock you, submerge you in water, and even give you unwanted dental work, along with other disturbing things that you will have to experience. McCamey is currently under watch from locals in both of his new locations who want him out. Most disturbing part, he has over 27,000 people on the waiting list. So if you are too scared, check out episode 8 of Dark Tourist on Netflix to see what it's all about. Warning, the site contains graphic images and links to even more graphic YouTube videos of the experience. It don't tell what town that's in. It's located in Alabama. So let me see if I can find. So I want to find where it is in Alabama. Wouldn't you like to know?
He said Japan.
It says it's in Alabama. Alabama. Location. Right here. Let's see where we are. Location. Huntsville. It's in Nashville, Tennessee, and Huntsville, Alabama.
I
So
thought there was one in Nashville.
and Huntsville. Oh, yeah. So we're gonna be in Fort Payne tomorrow night. Maybe there's a waiting list, so you can't just walk in, I guess. So there you go. So that hit the top of the list right there, right here in Alabama. Go ahead.
And want the dental work?
Don't you want some dental work done?
Sure.
So was there any spirit communication during the telling of that haunted experience? Hello?
I see. I can feel a woman being dragged.
Now, what did it say? There was a woman, what did it say?
Been exposed.
Catherine, if you go to the next one, it's kind of a short presentation, but it's in one of your favorite states.
Alaska Fright Night Manor. This haunted house is super popular in Anchorage, and it offers a 3D element. I have been to Anchorage. Fright Night Manor been haunting locals for more than 3 decades, so you know it must be good.
Click on Fright Night Manor and see what that takes you to the website and what else you can tell us about it.
Price is $20, including free 3D glasses. These glasses have state-of-the-art 3D real technology.
Does it have? Yeah.
All new location.
It doesn't give any more details.
I'm looking. No.
All right, so let's go then to Arizona and Spirit World. If you have any feedback on any of these haunted attractions, Catherine, if you understand, I can't.
Sometimes you can't understand them.
Well, Arizona, a field of screams. Haunted corn maze with new spine-chilling scenes every year. Don't be afraid to enter the cornfield that was planted over an old, forgotten cemetery. Are the dead now seeking revenge on anyone trespassing their grounds? Do you dare enter where your most horrifying dreams become a reality? Don't let what happened to the others happen to you. Really?
911, what's your emergency?
Need help!
Can you tell me your location, ma'am?
Everybody!
Who, ma'am?
The one that
Did what, ma'am? Ma'am? Oh!
AZ Field of Screams Haunted Corn Maze, 75th Avenue and Bethany Home Road. azfieldofscreams.com.
Well, I know that sounded scary.
That was very scary.
So on to the next one, Catherine. And what I'm doing in more detail is clicking on going to the website and going to their About page.
All right, go ahead for the next one. I got to get back to it. Arkansas. If you desire an extra long haunt, Arkansas's Reaper Haunted House offers over 15,000 square feet of scares through 30 horrific scenes. It continues to be the top Arkansas haunted house, so you should check out why. All new for 2020. The Haunted Hollow. Let's go see what we can find.
Website page, it says, "Are you ready for intensity never before seen in a home? Are you ready to cry, scream, and beg for your life? Step inside the Reaper Haunted House, the most intense haunted house in Arkansas, where anything goes. And if you make it through over 3 scenes of blood, gore, mayhem, nobody will be there to save you." Aha. So they are open through November the 1st. So there you are, in Arkansas. Now, what's the next one we got here? Oh, Knott's Scary Farm. I say we all know. I don't know if everybody knows what Knott's Scary Farm. It's been around, gosh, it seems like almost as long as Disneyland. It's not too far from Disneyland over in Southern California. They change it to Knott's Scary Farm every Halloween. I don't know. Is that you or is that the spirit box?
That's the spirit box.
And can you understand anything?
No, they're not coming through strong enough yet. They will.
All right.
We're
So
gonna get there, they just said.
I'm sorry.
They just said we're gonna get there.
There's also Scream Parks Museum of Horrors in Sacramento, where you can explore the Voodoo Bayou, the Midnight Asylum, or the House of the Undead.
He came in.
So we're doing a countdown, and Catherine's going to go into number 6 for Colorado, the 50 scariest haunted houses in the U.S. of A.
All right. I got to get down to number 6. Colorado Hellscream Haunts. At Colorado Springs Hellscream Haunts, you can choose between the Hellscream Haunted House and the Haunted Mines. Each has a detailed story. In the first, a reporter gets stuck while covering a story, and in the second, you can take a lights-off tour through the underground tunnels.
Next, let's go to up
I
east.
was going to the website.
Oh, okay. That was the website?
I was looking to see if they had anything on their website.
Okay.
Here's
Friday.
here it is.
This is an important safety announcement from Hell Street Entertainment. Please read all signs and notices as you enter the attraction. All guests and staff are required to adhere to the following safety rules. Safety masks must be worn at all times while on the property. If you remove your mask, you will be asked to leave. You are required to keep a safe distance of at least 6 feet from other household groups, staff, and actors to the best of your ability.
Touching of the actors, props, or sets is not permitted. For your safety, many features have been modified to prevent unnecessary contact, and hand sanitizer stations can be found throughout the attraction. Entry will be limited to the household group you came with, and will not be combined with other families. Should another group catch up to you, we ask that you step aside and let them pass. This will ensure a better experience for all. No weapons, personal protection devices, drugs, or alcohol are permitted.
All personal items are subject to inspection, and we ask that you leave large bags in your vehicles. Intoxication is not permitted for the safety of our guests and staff. If you were intoxicated, please return sober at a different date. Purchase tickets are good on season. If you enter the attraction intoxicated, you are subject to immediate removal with no refund. Running in the attraction is dangerous and not permitted.
This is an intense environment. Do not enter if you are pregnant, epileptic, have a heart condition, or have any physical or medical condition that would be aggravated by or limit your ability to navigate such an environment. Pictures and recordings are not permitted. Put away all phones, cameras, and recording devices now. Lastly, if you are too scared or find yourself unable to continue, tell any actor or staff member, "I need out," and you'll be escorted to the nearest exit. There is no re-entry once you have exited. Be safe and good luck.
Well, they really got their bases covered on liability.
I noticed.
Okay, let's go to Connecticut, folks, up east. Fried Haven haunted attraction, and this is a non-profit haunted attraction. It's in the business of being scary for the purpose of giving back to the community. They have listed here the Stratford PD and the Connecticut Burns Committee. Fried Haven aims to be a beacon of thrills and chills in the Stratford, Connecticut community and help charities when and where they can. Our organization is about spreading the word and mission of local charity through our Fright platform. Look for us at local events and around town. So they're doing this for a good deed. It's a not-for-profit organization. That's Fried Haven if you're in the Connecticut area and you can be spooked there and know that being spooked there, you're doing some good. It's over 20,000 square feet of scares. And there's something strange about this. Well, it's a hotel hex. There's something strange about this old hotel on the outskirts of town. Reports of missing individuals all seem to lead back to hotel hex. But law enforcement claims to have found no evidence of foul play occurring behind closed doors. When a local journalist, Wayne Allens, checked in to investigate rumors of cult activity and human sacrifice taking place on hotel grounds, he quickly learned it was not just small town gossip. Rather, the town's folklore of witches and a darkness lurking beneath the surface was all true. Allens worked tirelessly to piece together how Hotel Hex came to be, why town officials have seemingly swept this under the rug, and what that horrible sound, almost a constant roaring, coming from the woods behind the hotel could be. He was reported missing 5 days later. Do you dare to book a room and uncover the truth? Be sure to pack lightly, as you won't need much where you're going. And then witching hour, the Duncan family was they've gone missing. There had always been suspicions that the house at the edge of the woods was haunted, but Mr. and Mrs. Duncan didn't believe the old wives' tales. The rumor that their new home had once belonged to witches didn't faze them until their youngest mistakenly uncovered the remains of black magic lingering inside its walls. There were, of course, warning signs, objects shifting with no human contact, dolls with eyes that looked a little too human, flowers wilting as soon as they bloomed. Foolishly, these omens were ignored. When little Johnny Duncan went exploring in the home's library, the consequences of his curiosity proved to be dire for the entire family. The witch's magic, now reawakened, wreaked havoc in the home, and the Duncans disappeared without a trace. Enter as the clock strikes 3 a.m. and you too will experience the same horrors as the once happy family did. The witching hour is upon us, and the clock stops for no one. There you go, in Connecticut, Hotel Hex, and of course the witching hour. Interesting stories there. So now let's go and see what Catherine is doing at this next scary place, which would be what, number 8?
All right. Every time I click off of it to go to the website, it takes me out of it.
I'm sorry?
It takes me a minute because every time I click to go to the website or something, it takes me away from it.
Okay, you want me to cover this one then?
No, hold on, I'm here.
I'm sorry?
Delaware Frightland. If one haunted house isn't enough for you, maybe take a trip to Frightland in Middletown, where you can experience 8 haunted attractions. You can choose from horror hayride, haunted barn, Idealia Manor, Fear, the Attic, Ravenwood Cemetery, Zombie Town, or in Zombie Prison. Let's see what that one's about. If they have a video or something I can play.
They've been doing this. This is their 25th season. They're not new. It's named as among the top 10, which we know because that's by the Travel Channel. And they have a whole list. The Attic. Well, you listed all those, right?
Yes, I'm playing one of the videos.
Okay. Listen.
Is that spooky enough?
Oh yeah, well I'm gonna start sharing the screen here because the graphics are pretty freaking awesome.
Okay, we'll do that because I can't do that from here.
Yeah, you can. It's under present. You started the show, so let's join me at this website, will you? Look here. Can you see that?
I can't.
This is Screamageddon. I think it's in Tampa. Look at that clown. This place is something crazy. What's that? What? I don't know. It's not long enough to be frightening scary, but it's scary. And look at this. They've got Rage 3D, Bloodwater Bayou, Zombie Paintball Assault, which seems to be a popular thing nowadays, Ravenhill Asylum, Blackpool Prison, Demon's Revenge. I would like that one. Oh, wait a minute. Monster Midway. Look at that clown. Wow. And Bonzo's Beer Garden. Let's go get a beer from Bonzo. Would you do that? This one is, let me see if we can get the address and what. Wager, About Us, reviews. Wait a minute. Here we go. Let's see what the reviews are. What are people screaming about this place? It's voted top 3 USA's best haunted houses. Voted number 1 USA's best 2020. So they go back and they've hit some good stuff from 2018, 2019, 2020, and 2021. Was winner top overall attraction in 2019. They've got a lot. Let's see. Amazing, totally amazing, super scary adventure, and on and on and on it goes. Melissa Mead says, went for the 5th year in a row last week. They normally have the same houses every year, but with improvements or changes. I noticed a lot of work done in the forest this year. Each house is very different, not only in theme, but in the physical setting too. Actors walking throughout the corridor as well. So there's never a dull moment. Food trucks and beer available. Also have unchanged activities like zombie paintball, hatchet throwing. Wow. You're going to want to show up on time. We always go at opening and have just enough time to do every house, plus get a snack and a few beers in between. Laura Green says, such a fun place for Halloween. Have been going for the past 3 years. Always had a blast. The houses are fun, especially those that are interactive. Fantastic experience, well worth the price. You can tell the employees are having a blast as much as the patrons. I'd recommend you go early in October because the closer to Halloween, the larger the crowds. My daughter and I got in right at 7 p.m. when they opened and finished the 5th haunted house by 10 p.m. The last line for the Bayou House was the longest line, about an hour and 15 minutes. But price-wise, it is so much more than Halloween Horror Nights at you know where. Again, you can tell the people that work there are really enjoying what they do. And that's Scream-ageddon, and they have more than one thing to do. And where we go here? Hold on a second. Bear with me a second. They're located at 27839 St. Joe Road in Dade City, Florida. Their website is screamageddon.com. Sounds fun, but I'm nowhere near Dade City, Florida, unfortunately. So there you go. What's next on the agenda there from Georgia?
Have you noticed that the spirit box has been very quiet?
Well, I think it's enjoying these stories, these haunted houses, just like we are. What do you think?
I think so. While you're telling the next one, my throat's a little dry. I'm gonna grab a drink.
I'm sorry?
I said while you're telling the next one, I'm gonna grab a drink. My throat's getting dry.
You want me to go ahead with the next one? Is what you're saying?
Yes,
right?
please.
So we're going to go to Georgia, the Netherworld Haunted House. Let's see if I'm going to get there. Netherworld. They're open even into November. They're open November. Of course, they're open through the 31st, but they're also open November 4th through 6th and 11th through 12th. So if you missed it, you can still go. There are 2 haunts this year. The colossal 26th season of Screams, The Undying Horror, and Parasitic. They also have 4 adrenaline-inducing escape rooms worthy of the Netherworld name. Escape the Netherworld will operate every day, night. The haunt is open during Halloween season. Let's see what else we can find here. Well, let me share this screen as well so you can kind of see their website and you don't have to go to it. Right here. Here we go, folks. So you can see what's going on at Netherworld in Georgia and exactly where are they in Georgia. Let's find out here. What's their address? Are they hiding their address from us? Come on, we can't go there if you don't tell us where you are. And we got to find the location. Come on. Where are you going? Where is it? Come on, you gotta have an address. Okay, here we go. Stone Mountain, Georgia, which is just the other side, well, from the east side of Atlanta, is 1313 Netherworld Way, Stone Mountain, Georgia, 30087. And let's see here. Let me go through. Let's go through the gallery. You want to look at the gallery, folks? Look at this. Oh, these are large. Okay. The haunted house. Look at that beast right there. That is. Ooh. And here's a room from the haunted house. This kind of puts Disney World's haunted house. This is a little bit more interesting in some ways, huh? There's some Egyptian artifact in there. Oh, can't see them all. Okay, this is on. What in the world? There we go. There we go. Okay, this took me to another page, honestly. So let's see. That was the gallery. We can go to the reviews. That's always good. See what people thought about it. All right, let's go to the lengthiest one here. That was October 19th, just a week ago. Joe H said, "This is not your average haunted house. 4 adults and 2 teens had tickets for 9 p.m. on a Sunday night, the first week of October. Parking is across the street in the parking lot of a storage place, and they have a couple of people helping halt traffic so we can get across. At the entrance of the line, there are 3 or 4 porta potties. So it was confusing who was in line for those versus the line for the haunted house. Once you got in line, it snaked outside for 30 minutes, then another 20 before we actually got into the haunted house. I suspect these times will be longer on weekends and the closer you get to Halloween. There is someone right inside the first house entrance who will take a photo, which can be purchased later when you exit the haunted house. The place is so huge, it's a warehouse sized. They were there in there at least 30 minutes. The path is wide enough for one person, and everyone moves through it at a comfortable pace, sometimes running to get away from the scary ghouls. The movie quality effects are very impressive. There have to be at least 100 actors who camouflage themselves perfectly to scare an unsuspecting or suspecting soul. The sound effects and the lighting are spot on, and unique experiences such as someone suspended on cables above your head, whizzing by, and lasers which give you the impression that you're in a swamp and can't see below your chest. They're simply phenomenal. Once you exit the first house, your experience is not over yet. There's a courtyard where you can purchase snacks, drinks, and souvenir photos, and a huge jack-o'-lantern that vomits a ton of bubbles that you can walk through if you want to. There's also actors roaming this area. Stay alert as they sneak up on you and remain very still until you turn around and are startled to see one right there. I also saw a ghoul with a spade dragging it along the pavement, and when taunted by someone, began chasing them. They also take cues if you point someone in your party as an unsuspecting victim to be scared. And all the actors are in character and make for great photo props and selfies. Before exiting, there's a smaller haunted house, a Jurassic Park themed area where you are inside the shipping container, and then you sneak around along some other scary and disturbing setups. There's a few actors there as well. That one is a 5 or 10 minute walkthrough. Beware, chainsaw guy, which is pretty standard at haunted houses, runs between the exits of both houses. Fun experience. So that, my friends, is in Stone Mountain, Georgia. It is Netherworld. It's on Stone Mountain. No, it's on Netherworld Drive. Isn't that what I said? I think so. Netherworld Haunted House. If you're in Atlanta, Georgia, Central Georgia, and that could be an interesting place to go. And I believe now, is Catherine back? Hello?
I'm back.
You want to go to Hawaii?
Yeah, let me get to it.
You know, you don't have to wait on me to be going to where you need to go to next. You know that, right?
I know. Just I'm slow tonight.
Just go ahead. When you get through, you go to the one after me, and we can just keep moving along. And not.
But the problem is if I accidentally bump my phone or something, it messes it up.
Okay, so you're on your phone, not on your computer.
Right.
Okay. Well, okay. Just be careful, and let's keep rolling. We are, while she's getting herself, we are only on the 11th haunt, and we're almost, we're within 15 minutes having the first hour. It may take all 2 hours to get through these 50 haunted attractions in the US of A. The top ones, interesting, Huntsville, Alabama had the number one. and you have to. Boy, I went and go back and check that one out. And you know, you need to tell me when you're ready, Catherine. I'm just yakking away so there's no dead air.
Okay. For real haunted vibes, check out Hawaii's Haunted Plantation. That is, if you're lucky enough to live there. At this haunt, over 60 actors, as well as the spirits of Hawaii, will scare you. Can you handle it? Most of Hawaii's scary haunts are shuttered for 2020, but there's a drive-through scare fest. Habitat at Aloha Stadium of Oahu. I don't know how to pronounce it.
So one thing I've noticed, I didn't pay attention to this from this list, but it seems like we're going back a couple of years, that this was published during the pandemic. And I didn't think about that, but we're still going to cover these. I'm sure some of these have been around for years, and I'm sure they're still there this year. Even some of the reviews on their website were from this year, the ones I've been reading. So the Habitat at Aloha Stadium is a drive-through scare fest. Did you look at that?
If I click on it,
It does not give much detail on that, so that's not worth the click since you're on the phone. Let me see what we got with the Haunted Plantation, and I'm going to scare this. I'm going to share the screen for these wonderful folks. How's that? And they can see more. If you're in Hawaii or you're looking for a good reason to go to Hawaii, you better get your tickets fast. Haunted Plantation in Hawaii. Warning, warning. This being Hawaii's scariest haunted attraction and one of America's top haunts. Please leave your children at home. We are not responsible for them wetting themselves, and we do hate it when the plantation grounds are sore. We do not want your children having nightmares for the rest of their lives. And if you're pregnant, please don't even think about coming. It's dark and the monsters get real close. And when they scare you, the baby might pop out early. People with heart problems should also stay at home due to the fact that people faint. And whenever that happens, the poor patrons waiting outside will have to wait even longer. So seriously, for your safety, this event is not for children under the age of, I can't see. It's not for pregnant women, or people with heart conditions and breathing problems, and no walk-ins. You have to have reservations. The Real Fear has been there for 16 years. A lot of warnings there. Let's see. What else do we have going on here? Oh, they got videos. Can you see this? Do I have you there, Catherine, in my own screen?
You're on screen.
All right. Let's go back a few years and let's see what they got. Ooh. Who's that? Who's that doll?
Mother. Tell me a story.
What kind of story?
Scary story.
All right. That was pretty good production, wasn't it?
That was.
Next. Oh, okay. Let's see what we got. No, that's what in the world. All right, this goes back, but these are still pretty good, aren't they? You enjoying these?
I am. I don't know why my spirits are not talking to us tonight, though.
Because they're being entertained by these haunted houses.
I know a lady who's one to fly. I know a wife who's one to fly. Perhaps she'll die. I know an old lady who's one to fly. She's one to fly. Gonna get it to my life. Perhaps she'll lie. Perhaps she'll lie. Perhaps she'll lie. Perhaps she'll lie. Perhaps she'll lie.
Oh, that was weird. Wow. What do you think about that one?
Wow. Have you been to any in Alabama?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
I haven't been anywhere this year.
I'm talking about now.
Still go to Hawaii? Okay, folks, we've been watching some trailers from the Haunted Plantation, which is in, where is it now? Hello?
I can't remember.
I believe it's one of your favorite places.
Where's that?
Place you wanted to go.
Tennessee?
I thought it was Hawaii.
Hawaii?
Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hawaii. Let me see about that location. Then we're going to get on. We're never going to get all this covered. It's in 94-695 Waipahu Street near the old sugar mill. Yes, in Hawaii. Waikiki or something like that. Okay, so there is now time for Catherine to do something. I don't think we're going to get through. It's already 10 o'clock. I don't think we're going to get through all these. Are you on the next page yet? Are you in Idaho yet?
Hold on. I'm going to have to figure out how to get it on this other phone because.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead while you're doing what you think you need to do over there, okay? So we don't keep our people in suspense. And you just let me know when you're ready to be. How's that?
Sounds good.
While you're figuring something out. So let's go to Idaho. Do you think there's goblins in Idaho? What about this place right here? Brainwashing Americans one mind at a time. What surrounds you? Are you safe? Welcome to your worst nightmare, Beauty and Brains. No appointment necessary. Walk-ins always welcome. Do you have the heart to handle it? Directing Haunted House is the newest and largest indoor haunted attraction in the Treasure Island, located in downtown Caldwell, Idaho, with over 13,000 square feet of pure indoor terror. You are invited to enter at your own risk. From the moment our concierge greets you in the lobby of our century-old building, you'll never be the same. Be prepared, it's not for the squeamish. Rated top 2019 attraction at 810 Main Street, Caldwell, Idaho. And there you go, hours of operation. And we're going to keep moving ahead simply because we've got territory to cover. And the way we're rolling, we're never going to get it all covered after that. So the next one on our list is then Illinois. And they've got a trailer here of sorts. So let me share this one. You got to see this stuff, folks. I don't want to just talk about it, but I can show you the websites. And it's called the 13th Floor Haunted House in Chicago. And folks, we are, let's see, what number are we at now? Did I close that window? No, I didn't. Did I? Did I lose it? No.
We're at number 13, I believe.
Yeah, I actually closed out that page. Can you see that? Can you talk about that or not?
Yeah.
I can. There's a gallery. Let's see here. If I can scroll through the gallery.
Illinois 13th Floor Haunted House. This Chicago experience has 2 haunted houses in a 30,000 square foot area. Cursed Purgatory and Dead End District. Freak Show. Check out the chilling trailer for the 13th floor here. Okay.
Okay, I'll get. let me finish going through these pictures. If you got, can you share that video or not? I didn't see the
Okay, how do I do that?
where it says present bottom of your page. Okay, I'm gonna close this out. And where did you find? Did you find a video?
Yes.
Okay. So if you're on your page, you go down to about the where it says present, and then share screen. I need to stop mine. I stopped. And I gotta go right here and get on because I lost. What number were we at? Oh.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm about to share.
Okay, go for it.
Is it working?
Yeah, you're there, but there's no sound, so you have to talk. Is there a sound? Is there a way to get
Trying to
sound?
figure out how to do that. I'm trying to figure it out.
This is in Chicago, and let me see if I can find some. While she's showing that video, which has no sound, I don't believe it has a sound to it because I was there. They have the Outcast Carnival. After a failed carnival went bankrupt, the sideshow performers were shunned by society and took to the sewers for shelter. After years of no interaction with the outside world, the performers have become rabid and feed on anything that wanders into their domain. And then they have All Hallows Eve, a cursed group of undead trick-or-treaters rise up from their shallow graves once a year on Halloween to search of blood, guts, and candy. As the fall spirit infects others, their numbers grow. And then mini escape games. The mini escape games are a fully interactive and immersive experience unlike anything you have ever done before. Race the clock. Your group enters a room and has only 5 minutes to use clues and riddles hidden throughout the room that provide the tools necessary to meet the objective. As the clock ticks down and the pressure mounts, can you stay calm? Can you escape? Only $5 a game. So there you go. And that covers the that's the 13th floor in Chicago. Be there or be square. We're covering again all these haunted attractions. In the South, you can stop sharing that now. We'll go to a new.
Okay, I gotta figure out. Give me just a second.
Huh?
Give me just a second to get back over here and
Get on top there, that little blue marker. Stop sharing. You don't have to go anywhere.
all right, I figured it out.
Okay. All right. So we're going now to a new place in Indiana. And there it's called, well, let me go ahead and share this. We're going to have to move along a little bit faster. We've got a ways to go, and it is already after 10 o'clock. We're going to present, and I'm going to go here, and we're going to go to Indie Scream Park. Right? Be afraid. Be very afraid. They don't have much here because it says sold out up there. And buy now, sold out. Prices are subject to change, blah, blah, blah. What about this? I'm not interested in the prices. I'm interested to learn something about this haunted event. The attractions. What's the attractions? Okay, we got a lot of stuff here. Look at that guy there. Kilgore's Circus is one of the attractions. Kilgore's 3D Circus is the most mysterious big top show in America. Mr. Kilgore parades his circus into small towns across the country during Halloween season, making a killing in the process. Disfigured clowns perform in the streets before the circus arrives, taking note of prospective customers. The rest of the troupe arrives, and its baggage wagons are unloaded. The marquee is built, and playbills are thrown about town. Then the show begins. Mr. Kilgore draws in the crowds and puts on a mesmerizing 3D spectacle, as one would expect. But as the days wear on, severed body parts start showing up on doorsteps. Piercing screams are heard from the big top, and the dry smell of blood permeates the town. Just when the locals start to connect the dots, Kilgore's 3D circus disappears overnight, leaving only the damp festival grounds where it once stood saturated with carnage. But rumors are that Kilgore's 3D circus is coming to town. Will you buy a ticket? And then we've got the Nightmare Factory Blackout. Look at these graphics on these sites. Isn't that cool? Clawing, scraping, tearing, skittering, and screaming. Your sight has failed you as the darkness envelops. You can only hear and feel. The local power plant went dark a few years back, and the word around town is that something happened inside the wall so awful that the reactor shut down without warning. Don't let your imagination run wild at the things that are brushing your legs, grabbing your arms, and sinking their teeth into anything they can. However, we can assure you that what's really stalking you is exactly what wakes you up in the middle of the night. It knows you. It knows what terrifies you, and it won't let you escape. Abandon your sight and use your sense of touch to explore through what you thought was just a power plant, and find yourself face to face with the most primal fear known on earth: complete darkness. What about Zombieland Unchained? Look at these graphics, guys. 12 years after the zombie apocalypse, Outpost 49 is the last remaining sanctuary in the territory formerly known as Indiana. Jeb Sr., commander of Outpost 49, has taken a unique approach into the zombie horde, wrangling them into a slave army. But after becoming infected himself, Jeb Sr. snapped. He's had enough of this world and has decided to end it all by cutting his mob of zombies loose. Your path leads you through the unchained zombie herd of Outpost 49, filled with the remaining survivors who are losing their minds as they begin to turn into zombies themselves. Will you survive, or will you become a bedtime snack? Warning, warning, warning. Zombieland Unchained is an interactive attraction. Visitors entering Zombieland Unchained will be faced with an important decision. Should you explore Outpost 49 and simply watch the action? Or should you mark yourself to truly interact with the creatures within? Those who opt in for a truly interactive experience will be grabbed, held back, sent into hidden cells, removed from their group, or even forced to remain. Choose wisely. Well, there you go. Let's go to backwoods. You want to go to backwoods? Look at that, the pitchfork. Ah, scary indeed. This small corner of Bearstone National Park is avoided by locals due to the stories told by the Tate family, who have called these woods homes. Homes. These woods home for 5 generations. The Tates have guarded their land fiercely ever since the federal government claimed it from the national park. Isolated for decades, the only folks to see the Tates these days are the unlucky travelers who experience car trouble or lose their way. To find your way out of backwoods, you'll need to navigate through dark, winding trails, discovering different members of the Tate family in their cabins, workshops, and outhouses. But if you happen to encounter Papa Tate, you wish you had stayed on the main roads. Well, now we got mutation. Look at that creature. Would you? After the events of last year, the Omni Labs Corporation had to rethink their future. The decision to cease human testing and switch to lower risk organics eliminated the need for several safety protocols. Plants, insects, and animals were spliced and re-engineered with a small amount of human DNA to create several new intelligent species. At first, the intent was on improving agricultural output until the Omni Labs Corporation signed a lucrative contract with the Department of Defense. The push for immediate small-scale production of weapons-grade organic life forms resulted in cutting nearly every corner and safeguard. And by the time Omni Labs was ready for its official grand opening, sustainable mutations were being achieved, but that's when it all went wrong. Cross-species contamination resulted in mutations across not only plants, animals, and insects, but humans as well. Enter if you dare, but you may never come out. Warning, warning, warning. Mutation is our interactive attraction. And we've heard that story before, haven't we? There's a lot to this place. We did mutation. What about Monster Midway? Oh, they got beer. Well, look at this. That's a lovely clown, huh? You a good second kiss for dinner. Monster Midway Food Court. They have food trucks, slices and company, decadent drinks, coffee, tea, and more. Bonzo's Beer Garden and Monster Midway Food Court. Oh gosh, they have a wide array of terrifying monsters, assortment of beer and wine, including Bonzo's Beer Garden, a wide selection of hot and cold drinks, fire pits to set the mood, a foolish stock, gift shop, carrying indie Screen Park brand merchandise, games, photo spots, caricature drawing, and much, much more. All right, let's see. There's Bonzo's Beer Garden and Bonzo's Beer Garden. Okay, let's do a video. You want to see a video? All right, we're talking about Indy Screen Park there, and I'm not going to continue this on that one because we've taken up enough time, and we still have a lot. Well, here's the deal. What we got tomorrow as another night to continue this, and we can eventually get all this done. And this Indy Screen Park is located at 5211 South New Columbus Road in Anderson, Indiana. So you can look it up. If you're in the Indiana area and want to go there, go there. Be warned. All right, folks, what do we got next here? You gonna do one, Catherine?
Go ahead.
Iowa Stream Park Acres. Well, let's go ahead. I like these websites. They put a lot into this. This one
I know.
may not be as interesting, but we're going to move through a few. We got 45 minutes. So this is taking up some of our precious time. You see that? Stream Acres? The last week for 2022. What kind of attractions do they have? Well, let's find out. Okay. 3D Sinister Silo, a 2,800 square foot haunt. Welcome to the carnival. Not for the faint of heart. This heart-pounding adventure blurs the lines between reality and nightmares and leads you through a maze of possibilities. Be careful of which path you choose, because you never know who might jump out at you in this 3D scare silo. Decide for yourself what is real and what is a delusion. And if you make it through there, let's step on over to Cell Block Z. Well, Z is for zombie. The land is infested by zombies. It's officially the zombie apocalypse. These undead creatures have taken over a prison, and you're stuck inside. These zombies are hungry for flesh. Don't make a sound. Be careful. Run. Can you make it out alive? Or will Cell Block Z claim you? If you make it out alive, you can go over to the slaughterhouse. It was once home, or once a home. Now it's a prison for all that enter. The spirits of the dead are trapped inside. The cause of their gruesome fate is still inside and is waiting for you. Take the hidden passageways and you might be able to escape the same fate as those in prison here. But be careful. Watch your back. Can you escape before he finds you? If so, then you can go to the haunted cornfield. If you're brave enough, navigate your way through the twists and turns of this horrifying corn maze, but be aware. Keep your wits about you, because creatures of the night are lurking just around the corner, and they're coming for you. The darkness is the last thing you should be afraid of. Are you up to that challenge? Well, there's Park Entertainment, exploring the haunted grounds, and you'll be wooed by entertaining performers and prepare to enter their haunted attractions. Keep watch over your shoulder for devilish clowns, zombies, and slaughterers. Oh, if you make it through all that, then you should go, of course, to another beer garden, Glass Alley. 21 years of age, of course, if you're going to drink alcoholic beverages. This is in Atkins, Iowa, at 3280 69th Street in Atkins, Iowa. Thank you very much. That's just number 15 out of 51. We're now in Kansas.
Kansas. Let me go over here to Kansas and we will do Kansas. Something popped up. Kansas, walk through the haunted field of screams. I don't know. I just felt like saying that. Which is 30 minutes in the dark and being scared by actors and special effects. Reservations in advance are required. Let's see what their website looks like. Do we have any video?
They got a very lengthy story. Field of Screams, the Spurlock legend. You gonna read that?
Yeah, hold on. You gotta find it.
It's under story, right at the top. Dates and tickets, directions, fact, and story.
I see it now. In the 6th month of the 66th year, 666, of the last century, the family of Jebediah Spurlock moved to a 30-acre parcel of land in Sedgwick County, Kansas. The land is in Mays, Kansas, between Tyler and Mays Road. The property lies on what is now Prairie Pines. No one knows for sure where exactly the family was from. There was talk that they were from the barren plains of far western Kansas, but some local historians believed eastern Colorado was more accurate. However, if you ask those people who still remember the horrors of the Villanite murders, they'll, t- they'll tell you that the Spurlock clan was vomited up from hell.
Hmm.
I wonder.
Wait a minute, that's a lot. That's not all that story.
I had to get a drink. That was long.
Well, while you're reading that, I'm going to take a quick break. I've been reading a lot, and it is 20 after. So go ahead.
The Spurlocks were not your typical family. In fact, the Spurlocks were considered as much of a cult as an actual family. Jeb was the leader of the group, and most of the children were his. It is rumored that he preached polygamy and that he himself had multiple wives. I think I've heard this story before. Soon after Jeb's arrival, neighbors reported screams and wild laughter coming from the Spurlock farm in the early morning hours. People noticed the crops the family planted were wild-looking and unkempt. It was as if the fields were sick. Some even recounted strange smells emitting from the place when the wind blew. To add to the suspicion, Wichita police were baffled by the disappearance of 3 people off the banks of the Alaska River that summer. Supposedly, the police even questioned the Spurlocks about the disappearance, but couldn't find any evidence linking them to the crime. Rumors started to circulate around the small town of Mays of witchcraft, cannibalism, and devil worship. The rumors sparked fear in the hearts of the locals and even led one minister to preach to his congregation that the devil is alive and well in Mays, Kansas. He is walking amongst us now. Parents even told their children to beware of where the fields are sick. That's not all of it. I gotta get another drink. I have to refill when Kelsey comes back. It wasn't until the disappearance of a local boy by the name of Cyrus Smith that the town had enough. Soon after his disappearance, his friends went to the police and told the authorities that they had dared Cyrus to sneak onto the Spurlock farm and steal something from Jeb's front porch to prove he had been there. Once again, the police questioned the suspicious family, but couldn't find anything to suggest foul play. When the town learned that no charges would be brought against the family, people were outraged. Most locals were convinced the Spurlock family was involved and demanded justice, one way or another.
Is that it?
No, I'm still reading. No.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I was just trying to get ready. The events that followed led to what is now known as the Villigante murders and secured Jebediah Spurlock's place in local folklore. One night in early October, a small group of Villanites stormed Jebediah's farm. When the men entered the cornfields, they were immediately at a disadvantage. The field consisted of paths and tunnels that twisted and turned, leaving the men confused and lost in the labyrinth of corn and weeds. Knowing of the invasion, Jeb and his kin stalked their prey until the time was right. The villagers were rushed and quickly overpowered. It was a massacre so horrible that it brought one of the investigating officers to tears. Years later in the retelling, the men were butchered with a variety of crude instruments. Their heads had been removed from chainsaws, their bodies stuffed with corn and other grasses. When police searched the premises, they found several dead pigs with their heads removed and replaced with the heads of the men sewn onto the bodies. No, I'm not done. I gotta move my computer screen. As mysterious as the Spurlocks' arrival that year was the Spurlocks' disappearance. When the police swept the farm, there was no traces of the family. The family's truck was still there. There was no sign of quick departure. It was as if they simply vanished. A massive manhunt ensued for Jeb and his group, but to no avail. There was no trace of them. Their vanishing added to the speculation of witchcraft and other dark doings. Most stories told that now have Jeb making a pact with Satan. In exchange for their souls, the Spurlocks would get to return to Earth every October to hunt the old killing fields again and again. 12 years later, a parapsychologist and team of ghost hunters visited the field where the murders happened. They claimed that they found a vortex in the field. The team believed it to be a portal between worlds, a passageway to hell, or some other dimension that the Spurlocks disappeared into. Though no one else ever found the vortex, most still believe it to be a passageway. The Spurlocks take every October to return. Even though the stories have quietened down recently, there is an underlying sadness in the small corner of the Sedgwick County. Though most people won't talk about the villagers' murders anymore, they know that the past will not rest. To this day, parents still tell their children to beware of where the fields are sick. There's a little more. Hold on. Update. Recently, the Spurlock field has been researched by paranormal investigators. It became the subject of much debate among believers and scientists. Yet no one can explain the sick fields and unusual events that take place each fall. In the recent paranormal investigations of the Spurlock field, it was revealed that a medium made contact with a spirit called Horace Spurlock. He relayed to her that he is the half-brother of Jebediah Spurlock, the leader of the family whose unspeakable acts have disturbed so many. It was revealed to the medium that Horace planned to reunite with Jeb and bring his twisted clan home to the family land. Research showed that Horace and his kin once rumored to run a murderous traveling carnival in the Oklahoma and Texas panhandles were all executed in 1964, just 2 years before the massacre in Kansas. In 2010, the medium's revelations became reality, and Horace and the Twisted Circus have haunted the legendary family land every Halloween since. The end.
You say that's it?
That's it. I'm tired of reading for a minute.
Okay, we're going to go on. And we're going to have about 30 more minutes of this stuff. We're going to go to Kentucky to the Sinister Tombs haunted attraction. Do you see that? They've got a video. Let's watch it. Can you see it? Oh, that's got Kentucky written all over it.
It does.
Eastview, Kentucky was founded in 1870. Located on the Illinois Central Railroad line, it quickly began to prosper and grow. Eastview was thriving by producing large amounts of sand and sumac. It began to grow as no other Hayden County community had been before the early 1900s. Sometime around 1904, an Illinois train en route from Nashville to Chicago transporting ancient Egyptian artifacts that had been unearthed in the Valley of the Kings. The train wrecked just north of Eastview. The exact cargo was unknown since the record burned with the train, and even the semi list later was lost to fire when the Grayson County Courthouse burned in the 1930s. What is known was that all on board the train perished in the accident. The cargo was never seen again. After years of prosperity prior to the accident, Eastview began to have a time of terrible misfortune. Just 1 week after the train accident, a young man, or nun, lost her footing at the railroad bridge and fell to her death. 2 days later, a pair of twins swimming in a local pond drowned. 1 week later, the president of the Eastview Sumac Company was found dead after he cut his own throat. What a way to commit suicide. An army captain, while walking to the post office one night, tripped, broke his neck, and died. A young woman from Virginia who had come to find the man she loved ran off a cliff and died carrying a bag with one item in it. That item, a wedding dress. 2 young farmers left one evening to round up stray cattle and were never seen again. Many citizens began to feel that this run of misfortunes was a curse that was on the Egyptian artifacts. Go ahead and turn that off. It's kind of disruptive. I'm not saying anything.
It's turned off.
Or there's something in the background making a weird noise.
There's nothing here.
Citizens from all of Hayden County came. Wait a minute. Okay. Many citizens began to feel that this run of misfortunes was a curse that was on the Egyptian artifacts. Soon, many believed it was much worse. The bodies of 3 young sumac harvesters were found mutilated almost beyond recognition on October 20th, the night of the fall harvest moon. What is that noise?
I don't hear anything.
The evidence found, okay, mute your mic while I'm talking. I think it's me feeding back on your computer. The only evidence found around these brave men's bodies were those of a very, very large wolf. Citizens from all of Hardin County came to assist Eastview in a wolf hunt to eradicate the animal that had murdered these brave men. The men met at the local store at noon on the day of the burial, 200 strong, and set out on a mission. By nightfall, they had killed 31 wolves, but none the size that they were looking for. Most thought they had killed all the wolves in Hardin County. Early the next morning, it was realized that not only had the hunt not killed the wolf they were looking for, but also had made it furious. Just outside of the town, a campsite for 6 hunters, their wives, and 11 children had been brutally murdered. The only survivor was a little girl. She told of a wolf capable of standing on 2 legs and that bullets were unable to stop it. The men of the community met to try to find some way to stop the murderous beast. The new president of the Sumac Company asked a holy man who lived by Hardin Springs for help. The holy man, known only as Brother Elder, agreed to help, but said he would need a tracker. In the area was an American Indian who lived on Sutler Creek. Many believe the Indian was also a very powerful medicine man. The following night, the 2 entered the woods. Members of the community said that night the northern lights were the brightest they had ever seen, and that night sky was like evening instead of dead of night. In the distance, the chanting, screams, terrifying growling, and gunshots were heard through Eastview. By dawn of the second day, a search party was formed to find the 2 that had entered the woods. After 8 hours of tireless searching, the rescuers found a destroyed campsite and most of the two men's belongings. Amongst the belongings was the holy man's Bible with a letter hanging out of it. The letter told of how the two had encountered something not of this world. Brother Elder called it an ancient evil, the sinister Lord of Darkness, and they had battled with him until dawn. Brother Elder's letter said the Lord Sinister had command of an army like no man had ever seen before. Legendary and mythical monsters such as werewolves, vampires, zombies, and even witches. In his letter, he wrote that he knew no one would believe him and that he had not believed until he were right in front of him. He too would have been dead if not for the brave Indian tracker who had saved his life 10 times in a single night. As if the letter was not enough already to believe, the next passage became much stranger. Brother Elder told of them being overrun and near death, till his Indian companion, known as Soaring Eagle, cast a spell that opened up a winding tunnel of light and wind, which pulled all the evil within it. Soaring Eagle warned that the only way to prevent the evil from returning was for them to enter and stand guard. Even then, in October, as the seasons changed, the evil would grow strong enough even they wouldn't be able to completely cut it off from returning. The last passage of his letter said two should stand guard to save thousands. Tell my mother and father I shall miss them, but the greater good demands this sacrifice of us. Please stay forever vigilant and pray for me. Brother Elder signed the letter. No other sign of the two men were ever found. Believe what you will, or don't believe at all. I don't ask you to, but if by chance you find yourself in the woods around Eastview, Kentucky, and you begin to hear leaves rustling, footsteps, or the sound of growling beasts, remember that there is no such things as werewolves, no such things as vampire, no such things as zombies, and no such things as witches. They are just as imaginary as Bigfoot and aliens, aren't they? It's just your imagination playing tricks on you, right? None of the above named creatures exist. But just for your safety, our security guards are armed with silver bullets, holy water, crucifixes, white candles, salt, and a needle and thread. Enjoy your tour, and we will pray for your survival at Sinister Tombs Haunted House in Kentucky. What a story of sinister. Do you believe that? Hello? You can bring your mic back on if you'd like. Yes, you want to.
Okay. It just took me a second. I was sitting there talking and had to turn my mic back on.
Okay, so the next thing is, are you ready to do a story?
Let me get over here to it.
Louisiana, the 13th gate. It's your story. It's your turn.
Thanks to the film industry's boom in Louisiana, the owners of this terrifying Baton Rouge haunted attraction have hired the best of the best when it comes to the set designs and makeup. The walkthrough lasts 30 minutes as people make their way through 13 themed rooms, seamlessly woven together. It involves claustrophobic cellars and a real snake-infested Louisiana swamp. No, thank you. They're going to let you walk through the snakes? Did I lose you, Kelsey?
Okay, are you not going to the website?
Oh, I forgot I can do that. I'm sorry.
So they don't call it a carnival, they call it Carnival Returns.
I gotta go to the. I gotta find the.
Okay, that's fine. I've got this one. Get ready for your next one, and I'm going to slide through some pictures here as you get ready. So we're at here we go. She told you an introduction to this, and while I'm doing this, go to the next. Get yourself lined up. How's that?
Okay.
And I'll show some of Carnival's carnival characters. If you happen to be, I forgot where this one was. Where is the 13th? Oh, Louisiana. We're down in Louisiana, folks. Oh man, if there's any scary, spooky places, it's got to be Louisiana, right? 13th gate, a fire-breathing female. They've got all the carnival there. Drown the Clown. This is a very interesting, entertaining. Oh yes, okay. I've been through all that. And I have shared that. This is Carnival, and they have nightly entertainment, special performances, roaming characters, 13th gate merchandise. They've got 5-minute escape rooms. They got free concerts, and they've got haunted games. Enjoy your stay at Carnival. And Catherine, did you get the next one going?
I'm working on it. I have to.
Main destination haunt is up for grabs. We've been for 20 minutes. A few more of these. We're going to have to show. We're now on number 19. We're not even halfway through the 50 scariest haunted attractions in the US of A. We started out with one in Huntsville, Alabama, Nashville, Tennessee. Some of them have some very interesting trailers. Anytime you're ready, I'm just talking till you're ready.
Okay, I got the trailer ready.
Is the sound on? No sound.
Hold on.
There you go.
Start it over.
Oh, so that's still the one in Louisiana. That's 13th gate.
Yes.
Okay, so stop sharing that. Oh, you got more. Go ahead. I'm fine.
I was just looking to see if there's any more.
I read the story already for 13th gate.
I know.
Okay. There's one. Go ahead. Enlarge it. Hit the square down there. Bring it up to the right.
That's about how I feel.
Well, that was a very interesting presentation. Backwards. Okay, go ahead and close that screen out, please.
Yes, it was. I gotta get back. I am working on it.
We are, boy, we're getting closer and closer. Let's go to Maine. Destination Haunt. And I will share this the best I can here. Let me get up to here and do present and share the screen. And right here, right up east again. Destination Haunt. Can't wait. There's really no haunted trail, ride, or house that beats it, says one reviewer. This place is awesome. So what do we got here? Oh, wait a minute. It will not be opening this year. Really? Is this, well, let's do this right here for the sake of it. I don't know when they're going to be open, but that's 2018. I guess you can see that. So this is Destination Haunt, but they say that wasn't over. I thought that was over. No, it's playing over. That's what it is. Okay. I don't need to see that again. But they say we'll not be opening this year. And out more traction during okay. Well, anyway, that's up in Maine. So I don't have the answers there. But as we're going through this, no matter when you're watching this, comment if you have a favorite of any of the attractions that's available. These are the top 50, they say, in the United States of America. We've only gone through 19 of them. The next one's in Maryland, Field of Screams. I don't know if Catherine's got that set up ready to share.
Well, that one didn't have a story, so I thought you were going to skip it. And
what's that?
That one didn't have a story, so I thought you were going to skip it.
What, Maryland? The one I
Okay. Field of Screams. And affiliated with the Field of Screams, Kansas, has been changed into one of Long Haunted Trail this season for all scary needs. Now let's go to the website and let's see what it is. and it came up as IND. Go over here. Present. All right. Can you guys see it?
It's there on a trail.
All
And
right.
where is this one again?
I think Maryland.
Maryland, Field of Screams, right?
Yes.
Okay. It's unaffiliated with Field of Screams that I talked about from Kansas, so they're not related at all. Go ahead.
Okay, I was looking for videos right here. I was looking to see if there was any videos on the main page.
As we're watching all these, she's getting things set up there to show us the Field of Screams.
That's some of the photos.
Which one of these is your favorite, folks? Where's their videos?
That's what I'm looking for. It said photos and videos. So I'm thinking maybe
there's a video right there, right there. Stop, stop.
I'm trying.
That was a short one.
Okay, let's see if there's another one. That would be
that one down.
There's another one.
This is in Maryland.
I love to be afraid of
These are quite the production. These are very cool. Not as impressive as some have been. This is the Field of Screams in Maryland, and she's going to see if there's any other videos to share there, but I think that's it.
That's it.
So we're going to go on to the next one. We may have time for one more. Who knows? Maybe two more. If you'll get that out of there, I'll bring up another one.
Well, that one we saw just a moment ago, the one before this one,
Yeah.
it was almost like watching a movie.
Yeah, some of them are very, very good. And this one is the Factory of Terror in Massachusetts. And I think you see my screen there. I've got it shared. So let's watch theirs. It's very short as well. Okay. No need to watch it over and over again, but the Factory of Terror, Fall River, Massachusetts, and they are they got a lot of that's the only little trailer they've got. You can make your determination if they fall within the top 50 in the nation. So keep that in mind if you're out shopping for a place to be scared for Halloween. And I think we got time for one more here. Do you think?
Sure,
Michigan,
go ahead.
the Terrified Forest. What do you think? Can you cover that?
Terrified Forest.
Yes.
All right, let me go to it. The Terrified Forest. At the Terrified Forest, you'll walk through trees in the dark, and something evil can pop out at you at any moment, and it will. There are 30 acres of this haunt dedicated solely to scaring you, so good luck if you choose to be brave enough to do it yourself. Okay, let's see what Terrified Forest looks like. See if I can get this one right. All right, let's see here. Home schedule to meet the owners. No videos there. General admission. Group discounts. Helpful tips. Blah, 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 blah. There's no video. That doesn't. Okay, let's meet the owners. Okay. That's boring. All right. That was a boring one, Kelsey.
Where is it located? Massachusetts.
Michigan.
Massachusetts.
Michigan.
Factory of Terror. Is that where we are? Where are we? Terrified. It's Michigan.
No,
Terrified Forest. Okay. Their website is kind of boring compared to some. That's 22 out of 50, and it is now 10:58. Well, we can pick up here tomorrow, can't we?
We can.
Okay. So as you're watching these, folks, if you find hey, rate these things. They've been rated 50th scariest, and we've been going through them all across the nation. We started out in Alabama, where we're located, and we've been to Hawaii, we've been to Alaska, all up and down the East Coast and all around, and we still got a bunch more to go through. And outside of talking about my books, I do want to take one brief minute before we go anywhere and talk that this subject matter, dating the dead, spectrophilia, Amazon.com. At the beginning of this, I talked about several of my other books, not all of them, because I've got over 30 books out in publication. Most of them are found on Amazon.com. Some are found at Lulu.com. And there are some stuck out there on not just Amazon, but Barnes and Nobles and other websites. And we are not a monetized channel here on YouTube. We do not charge anything. We've got a Patreon account that we just haven't promoted. But if you buy some books, I'll be a happy camper. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that's about all for the night. It's 11 o'clock. Do you know where your ghosts are?
Yeah, they're in my head.
All right, folks. Tomorrow night, peace and love. Tomorrow night is when people will be celebrating, or at least the kids will, Halloween. Say good night to the haunted dolls. Good night.
Good night.